The first recorded mention of the Wadrhun is the canto of the saga of Charles Armatellum that speaks of his peace treaty with the primitive tribes beyond the Clostrine Mountains. For centuries, the tales of nomadic savages with giant pre-Dominion beasts that dwell beyond the edge of civilization have been a source of entertainment, delight, and lazy, abstract deliberations among self-titled scholars and historians. The truth lies so far from these theories and rhetoricisms, as the wastelands and oases of the Wadrhun lie from the luxurious foyers these discussions are usually held in. Sheltered by the selfless sacrifices of the last legion, the refugees that managed to escape the cataclysm of the fall would survive the long winter that followed and, in time, prosper to found one of the largest and most diverse bastions of humanity's civilization on air. Today, the 100 Kingdoms extend from the sheltered heartlands by the Bitter Sea, all the way to the lands of the Rus, which stretched against the Clostrine Mountains, before one descends into the corruption and darkness spawned by the fall beyond them. In today's battle report for Conquest, the Last Argument of Kings by Parabellum Wargames, we are going to be playing a 1,000-point game. I am going to be taking command of the forces of the 100 Kingdoms, and Stephen will be taking forces of the Wadrhun to meet me in glorious battle and conquest. Our scenario for today is scenario 1 from the support packs. This is Divide and Conquer. We have how you set up a battlefield here with 6 objectives and 2 objective markers. We then have one of each of these becoming our own home objectives that we cannot raise. We then also will be scoring victory points for raising the objective markers and controlling objective zones on the battlefield, and also slaying the enemy's warlord. The game will last 10 battle rounds, and the player who scored the most victory points at the end of the game will be declared the winner. And so we have Stephen's force of the Wadrhun. They'll be led by a chieftain who's their warlord, who's going to be from the Death Cult, and then we've got the Kiss of the Dinosaur and Violence of Action giving him a flurry, and indeed the unit of veterans with a standard bearer that he'll be joining. He then has a unit of 3 Warbred alongside them, as well as his unit that is restricted for taking the mainstay of veterans. A Predator from the Cult of War joins them with a mainstay of Raptor Riders with a Huntress leading them, and a restricted unit of Slingers with a standard bearer. And then we have my force of the 100 Kingdoms. I have a mounted noble lord with the Lorien lance and the weapon master leading my force. They are going to be joined by some mainstay units of men-at-arms, a 6-strong block of them, and also another unit of men-at-arms, a 3-strong block, both of these units with standard bearers. We'll then have a unit of mercenary crossbowmen with standard bearer, and a unit of household knights with a standard bearer and tourney champ for the extra charge distance. We then have a Theist priest to cast some holy fire with a unit of 6 militia and a standard bearer filling out the force. Also, we would like to thank Parabellum for sponsoring the channel with Conquest, the Last Argument of Kings and Conquest First Blood. If you'd like to help the channel, you can do so by supporting us by going and using our affiliate code to get 10% off your orders on the Parabellum e-store. The code here on the screen will get you the said discount, CFGCONQ5. Go and get yourself 10% off and help the channel continue to make more and more Conquest content. And so here we have our table all ready to play. You can see we've got the 6 objectives down on the table like so for the scenario. Now, we both have 2 light units to come on, so it means one of them are going to get automatically. We're going to need to roll a dice. It is a 4 or less, so this is for the 100 Kingdoms. I'm not going to get it, and you are not either, so we're both just going to get to choose one unit to come on. And so we've picked our cards, we've built our decks. I've got my Mighty 1 card here. How many cards have you picked?
Just one.
Just got the 1, so I'm pretty sure we both know what units are coming. So now it is Supremacy. No one's got more cards, so there'll be just rerolls on ties. So I got a 6. Oh, no, that's a 1. That's a 1. Yay! Symbols on 1s because of the cool Conquest dice. So I'm going to get Supremacy. Supremacy for me. Surprise, surprise. It is the Mercenary Crossbowmen that are going to start the battle coming on. And so with the first action for the 100 Kingdoms, I have my Mercenary Crossbowmen come on. They just make a double march up the table, getting that +1 inch thanks to having a standard bearer, giving them unstoppable. So, what card is in your command deck? I'm pretty sure I know what it is. It is the Raptor Riders. And so, Stephen has brought on his Raptor Riders. He's just doing his fluid formation movement there. And you can see we're both sort of taking opposite flanks, not wanting to give the other some easy shots in the next round. Alright, so I've chosen to bring on one of my mediums for free. I've got one light still to come on, so this is on a 4 or less. Yes, my light will be coming on. I've also got 2 more mediums. These will be on 2s or less. No, neither of my other mediums are coming on. So just my light and the medium I've chosen. And so Stephen has picked one of his mediums to come on for free. So you've still got your light to roll for on a 4 or less. Will not be coming on. And your other medium on a 2 or less will be coming on. So you're going to get both your mediums on this round. And you've got your other light unit off the table. Alrighty, so we have built our command decks. I have 5 cards in mind. Stephen has 4. This means he's going to get to modify the roll by 1. So I've got a 6. So it doesn't matter what you are going to. Yeah, you're going to go first with that because you can modify it to a 4 or a 2. So the first card in your command stack is Raptor Riders. Alright, so the Raptor Riders have just completely gone right across the board there into the center of the table. So they are now there. And it should be noted as well, you did generate a war chant marker as well for your Raptor Riders activating. And so my first is the Militia going to be coming on. This will include the Theist Priest. And so on come the giant blob of Militia with their Theist Priest. Holier than thou I am. So, your next activation?
My next activation
is the Veterans will be coming on. Alrighty, so your Veterans with the Chieftain make a double march and come up the table. So, my next one after them, I'm going to activate, and it's going to be the Theist Priest, who is going to do some magic. Alright, so my Theist Priest has 1 action, as characters do. So, he is going to try and cast some Holy Fire if he's in range, I think. And unfortunately, he is just out. So we might go with a different spell then. Unfortunately, your Raptor Riders are like 12 inches away, not 10. We will then go with Saint's Favor. This will give me +1 defense on my Militia. So I need 3s or less. I have 5 dice. That will succeed with the 3 successes there. And so Saint's Favor is now on the Militia, giving them +1 defense. Your next activation will be the Warbread coming on next. And so your Warbread come on the table like so. We've got the battlefield looking like this so far. A lot of posturing in the early maneuvers. My next action is the Noble Lord, who's not on the table. He just yells out that he's coming soon. So it'll be back to the Wadrhun for their last activation, which will be the Chieftain, who's already on the table at this point, and he just yells some curses at the Theist Priest, saying that's not a real saint, or something like that. You will generate a Death Conquest marker, because he is on the table, and then I have my Household Knights coming. Quite happy for the Knights just to come on behind the Mercenary Crossbowman. You've got no cards left. I've got one last, which is the Mercenary Crossbowman. So, Mercenary Crossbow move, and then we are going to do a volley into the Raptor Rider. So we need 2s or less on the volley action. I got 2. So you are defense 2, that drops to 1, but you've got evasion 2, so you will be 2s or less to save. Save 1, take a wound on a Raptor Rider. Alright, so we do have a couple more reinforcement rolls, or rather I've got a reinforcement roll to make. We both get to pick a free unit. You've got your last unit added into your pile already, so you don't have any rolls to make for the Wadrhun. I've got 1 medium unit to roll for, so I need... That'll do it. So this does mean we've both got all our cards, all our units in our strategic decks. So we've got everything ready to come on the table this round. So this does mean we've both got all our cards, all our units in our strategic decks. So we've got everything ready to come on the table this round. Alrighty, so we've both picked our strategy decks in the order we want them. And now we are going to roll for supremacy. I do have more cards in my deck, so you're going to get to modify this by 1. I got a 6, so you got a 2. You are going first. And your first activation will be...
my new guys.
The Slingers.
Have just come.
Alrighty, so you have brought your Slingers on. They've made a single move, and now you're going to do a shooting action. So you are going to be -1 due to the intervening terrain. You are in effective range, though, so you are going to get your torrential fire. So you need 2s. There'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means you actually get 9 hits, because for every 2 hits, you get an additional 1 from torrential fire. And so, just defense 1 on the Merc Crossbowman. So, ones, I got 1. That'll be 8 wounds. So that will take down 2 stands of them. And then the Predator, needing 2s as well. Got 2. So, with this, you actually ignore my armor with your armor piercing. I dropped down to 1. However, because you have deadly shot, I've got to roll, because if I roll 6s, it becomes 2 damage instead of 1. So, no, I just take the 2 wounds. So yeah, I've got 2 wounds left. I'm now broken. Good thing that you don't have to take resolve from shooting, or I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be there. So my first action is going to be the Theist Priest, who is going to do Saint's Favor again on the Militia. So I've got 5 dice, because I'm a Priest of 5, needing 3s or less. And I can reroll 1, or that rather becomes an automatic success because of Devout. So Saint's Blessing, it goes off. I am really the holiest of thou. Alright, so your turn. What are you going with?
The Veterans.
Ooh, Veterans. Over here next. Alright, so the Veterans draw. Now, unfortunately, just because of how your cards have been played out, you're going to have to chant. It's going to give you a few bonuses on the Veterans, but it's not really going to affect them this round. However, they do have a cool draw event where they can actually put a Conquest marker on themselves without adding anything to the chant pool. So you will gain +3 move to your first move action from the Conquest marker they'll put on themselves. And so just a single move there with the Veterans. I'll then go my next one, which is going to be the Mercenary Crossbowmen, or rather what's left of them. I will get 4 shots from them. So I have 3 per stand plus the 1 from the unit leader. We will go into those Raptor Riders, needing, we'll aim and shoot, I guess, so we'll need 3s. Got 1. So you will have evasion 2, which you fail, so take another wound. Right, next activation, after just doing a wound with a Merc Crossbowman, your next is the Warbred, who will generate a death token for your force. Or a death chant marker. Alrighty, so your Warbred, just make a double march move up, protecting the flank of those Raptor Riders. So my next one is going to be the Militia. What do we want to do here? Because this is really... your Warbred moving there is annoying because it means I can't quite get into the Raptor Riders properly. So do I charge the Warbred, or do I just hold and maybe change where I'm going with those Militia? And so, with not a lot of options you've given me, I don't want to go on the flank and get flank charged by Raptor Riders. So the Militia will just move up like so and stay there because the Veterans have already gone, so not too worried about that. Your next activation
is the Raptor Riders.
So that was the right call. What are they going to do though? And so your Raptor Riders then have just made their free reform and have actually gone right back over the other flank with a double move after their fluid formation move. Annoying. But my next will be the men-at-arms. And so the big unit of 6 stands of men-at-arms comes on like so. Next up for the Wadrhun, you have the Predator. So he's already activated, but he does generate you a war chant marker. And so after the Predator, it's going to be my other unit of men-at-arms. And so then my second unit of men-at-arms will come on there next to their comrades. And your next and last one, I believe,
is the Chieftain.
It's the Chieftain who just yells some insults across to the Theos Priest once more. My next noble lord, he just says, "Sally ho, good chaps." And then lastly, I have the Household Knights. Alright, so Household Knights have done a move, and then I've just had to do a charge. I didn't need a roll for the charge because I was well under what I needed to do. In fact, I had an inch spare before I even needed to roll a dice to see if I needed more than an inch. So we do have impact for the unit of Knights into the Warbred. So we'll start with the Knights themselves. They have brutal impact 3 each, so I need 2s to impact. That'll be 4. So 4 saves on a 2, because a brutal impact 1 will reduce your defense of 3 down to 2. You save 2, take 2 wounds on the Warbred. And so then the Noble Lord. Now I have the Lorien Lance equipped to him. This allows me to reroll my impacts. I'm also going to get +1 brutal impact. So go to brutal impact 3. You're not going to get armor against these. So these will be 3s with a reroll. For 2 more wounds on the Warbred. And so it will be at the end of round 4 now. Round 3, sorry, not round 4, going into round 4. It will be 4 to 4, because you will control that with the veterans. I'll control this with more stands within 6 from the Knights. They won't score that, and they won't score that as they're light non-infant, non-monster units. They can't score objectives. They can't seize. So, with that, we go into the next round. We'll build our decks, and we'll come back with the next round. Today's battle report is also brought to you by Mithras Games. Fantastic tabletop wargaming mats out of New Zealand. Now, Mithras Games has a variety of different mats. We've got the fantastic Desert Red, the nice Tundra Green, and the frosty Ice Blue here as well. All of these mats are a really nice high quality, generally very similar to how you would get your mouse pads for your mats. But fantastic high quality mats. We love them. Mithras Games are a fantastic supporter of the channel. You can pop on over to their website, especially if you're local to Australia or New Zealand. They're a fantastic company to help support. Alrighty, so we are going to go for Supremacy. You still have less cards in your deck, so you will get the change. I got a 1 this time. You got a 1. So
you're going up.
And so with that, you can modify down to a 0. So you are going to take the first turn. So here's your first activation. I think I know what it might be. It is the Warbred. Alrighty, so yeah, your Warbred have activated. You're going to use your chant sequence now. That is going to give you both Flawless Strikes and +1 Clash on your Warbred. So you're going to be Clash 4 with the Warbred now, which is pretty nasty. They have 5 attacks per stand. Alright, so Warbred, we're using their Burnout Draw event, so Clash 4. Alrighty, so you've got 4 dice here that were the Flawless Strikes, so that's just going to remove one of my Knights. Now, you did generate an additional 4 hits from these 4 as well, though the Relentless Blows additional hits don't become flawless as well. So, I've now got all these at Cleave 2. I do have shields, so I'm +1 defense in my front arc. So, -2, I go to defense 2 on the Knights. I save 3. There'll be another knight and a half gone. And so now I've got resolve 3. This, I think 3s or less, and that is 1, 2. That is the unit gone. And so you still have a second action with the Warbread because you didn't have to inspire because of all your bonuses there. So you're now just going to make a charge. I think you need to roll anything but a 1 probably. 5. They are certainly in. So you are Clash 4 still because you still have your charge and you still have the burnout. So yeah, you've got to do 2 wounds and you do. So that will wipe out the mercenary crossbowman as well. Ouch. And so now you do have your burnout. So you've got 9 dice that you need to roll, 3 per stand because decay 3. Each 5 or 6 will cause a wound on your Warbread. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will kill 1 and put 3 wounds on another. And so I would say that decay there for the Warbread is certainly worth it as you literally have cleared a flank of 100 Kingdoms with them. So my next, oh look, it's Household Knights. They don't exist anymore, so I do get to draw my next card. Men-at-Arms. So we are going to go with these Men-at-Arms here, making a charge. Alrighty, so the Men-at-Arms are going to clash then. They're inspired, so they do go to clash 3. So 3s or less will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll take that. And so evasion 2 is your better stat. So that's not bad. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 though. And so now you've got your resolve chests, 3s or less on the Raptor Riders. That will be another 2 wounds, which will see another Raptor Rider go down. And so it is then your activation after that. So you have the Veterans. So they're in an interesting spot here.
They're charging.
And so the Veterans have countercharged. You were mostly actually in my front arc. 3 of your stands were. So you've charged in like so. Making the most, but you've got your Veterans, you've got 1 lot, and the Chieftain will be able to make combat, but then you'll get extra supports from them. Alright, so those Veterans, they also got to chant a Death Chant for free for +1 Clash. You've got Shock from the Chieftain there, +1 Clash when you charge. This takes them up to Clash 5 before they even inspire, which means they will get the rerolls of 6s on that 5. So you have 5s rerolling 6s. Not that you even needed it because you've got Flurry as well, which is flat rerolls. So you've got 5 attacks for the 1 stand, 2 supports up there, 5s rerolling. Do you have any 6s? No, that is all 7 of them through. So with my shields, I'm now defense 3 against these, which I save all but 1. I take a wound. Wow. Then the Chieftain will have 5 attacks with 5s re-rolling. All go through. Now, he's cleaved 2, so I do need 1s on these. Now, I save 1, so we'll take 4 wounds. And then we have 5 resolve checks. I am resolve 2. Men-at-Arms doing pretty good. Only 2 more fails. They took that pretty well. My next activation after that terrifying experience of the other Men-at-Arms. So my other Men-at-Arms are going to make a charge. I need a 4 with a reroll into that Raptor Rider there. So I got it. So I get in with the charge. So in there, I now need 3s against the Raptor Rider. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Men-at-Arms doing the job. Evasion 2. Oh, what a throw. So it's 2 wounds. So you now will have 2 resolve checks. You will have to re-roll these though, as I am in your flank. So resolve, 3 or less. Re-roll that success. So in your flank. So 1 more wound on the Raptor Riders. That'll be the Wadrhun's next turn. So what do we got? We have the Slingers, who might need some targets. So your Slingers have just made a double move. You're just coming to try and destroy my home objective with them instead. So they're just moving down like so. And then it'll be my next activation. which is the Theist Priest. So the Theist Priest is actually going to go Divine Sanction on himself. So that'll succeed because one of those will turn into success before. So he will now have Deadly Blades, Cleave +1, and Quicksilver Strike as well. If he was in combat, he would get a free dual action on this as well. Your next activation is the Predator. My next activation will be the Militia. So I will be on a 4 with a reroll here with the Militia. Yeah, so we're going to go in with the Militia. No, we need a reroll there. 5 will do it. Alright, so we'll cover the Theist Priest first. I've got his stats up already. Here's Clash 3 on the charge. That will be 3. I almost saw that become all 4 of them. So, you will have Cleave 2 against the Warbred. That'll take you to Defense 1. But you don't want 6s. That'll save 1. It'll be 2 wounds on a Warbred. There is 3 there already. So that'll take another one down. So I will be Clash 3 with a Militia on their strikes. Just straight up in the dice. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 into the last remaining Warbred. So defense 3. No, and that'll be the 5. That'll wipe him. You don't even need to do your morale checks because he is gone. Next up for you.
Raptor Riders.
Raptor Riders. Oh, yeah, no, she's still there. He survived on a wound. Who is she putting her attacks into? So, your Raptor Rider, she's going to Inspire and Clash. She's got 6 attacks. You have Chanted for War, so this gives her Cleave 1 with 3 chant markers. So, you will now need 3s re-rolling because of Flurry. Yep, reroll. Will be 5. Cleave 1, so you ignore my shield, so I go back to my defense of 2 on the Men-at-Arms. No, I fail all of them. So that is 5 damage from her, which is insane. You've just taken out 2 stands. 5 resolve checks still. I take another 3 wounds. My next one is the Noble Lord. He dead. So last one, Mercenary Crossbowmen. Surprise, surprise, they're dead. You have one last one, which I think is just the Chieftain.
Yep.
Who has no one to duel over there, so he just yells and tells everyone, I'm the best, because I'm the biggest. And so, end of turn 4. This side of the table, no scoring, because we are all light units. However, over here, I will control this objective here, because I have more stands, though you control the objective at the back there with your veterans. However, you are going to score an additional 2 points on top of the 2 for your objective, giving you 4 for this round compared to my 2, because you did kill my Warlord. So it'll be 8-6 going into turn 5, the halfway point of the game, or potentially a halfway point, favour of the Wadrhun. Alright, so we are going into Supremacy now for turn 5. I only have 4 cards in my command stack. You have 5, so I get the modifier. Please, I'm going to make that a reroll. So 3. And then I'm going to make me win. So I've got my first activation, which is the Theist Priest. And I am going with Holy Fire. So we are going with Holy Fire. Burn, dinosaurs. 3, that turns into 4. That is 8 hits on your slingers. So 8 saves, please. So defense 1 on slingers. Go for it. Oh, you got 3. That is still 5, though. Burning. And so 5 resolve checks. Resolve 2. That'll be another 5, so that's another stand gone. That does break your unit, which means they can't inspire at the moment or contest objectives in any way. So your first activation after that The Raptor Rider, she's going again. So Raptor Rider next, she is inspiring, attacking the same unit, so need 3s, but with rerolls, so you can reroll those 2 fails there. So that would just be 6. No cleave this time though, because you don't have your chant anymore. So I am defense 3 against these. Not that that would have mattered last time. I rolled terrible. And not that it matters this time. 5. Wow. So only 1 of the big stand left. 5 resolve. That is 4 fails. That'll be the unit won't. Well, that happens. Okay. I have Militia next. They are going to make a charge. 6 they're in. So the Militia making in, these units are actually just sliding across, but wobbly model syndrome. So we need 3s for our clash. Thanks to Inspire. So not particularly great at all. Just 5 hits. So defense 1. You take 4, so that leaves you on a wound. 4 resolve checks. That need to be rerolled and yeah, so the unit is gone. So who is next for the Wadrhun? I think I know what it is. It's veterans. Right, so the veterans have made a reform, and now you need a charge. Anything but a 1, a 2, that'll do it to get you in. So they just make the charge in. Unfortunately, they can't do much this round. I then have men at arms, so. That Raptor Rider needs to die. She's got 1 wound left. I think I can guarantee killing her, and then hopefully I get the turn next round and can attack the veterans first. Inspiring, so we will go to clash 3 with the dudes. It's cocked. So that is just 3 hits. Evasion 2. Really? Wow. She takes nothing. Okay. That was not what I wanted to happen. And so your next card is going to be...
Slingers.
Slingers, they're dead. Your next one.
Predator.
He's dead. Next one.
Chieftain.
And he's gone.
He can't attack. Okay.
And then my last card is the other men at arms. They're dead. So, we'll be going into turn 6. You will control that objective now, so you'll gain 2 points, taking you out to a 10-6 lead in going into turn 6. Alrighty, so we are going for Supremacy. Both have 3 cards in our deck, so no one gets anything. I got a 3. You got a 3, so that is a reroll still. I got a 2. You got a 1, so you are going to go first.
Yep.
First card in your command deck is, of course, going to be... Oh, no, it's the Raptor Rider. Okay. She adds... So she has 6 attacks. So she needs 3s with rerolls. Oh, a lot of misses there. But turns it into 4 hits. So it's going to be 4 defense rolls on 3s. That's better. Just 1 fail. 1 resolve check, which I pass. It's just a wound. So my next one is the men at arms. And so because your Raptor Rider's gone, I am going to put the hits into the veterans now. So we are going to put all our attacks into the veterans. Inspiring, clashing. So 3s. Oh, that's cocked. Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the veterans. So defense 3, so 3s or less on your shields. No, so 4. That'll be 4 resolve checks. 3s or less, so you failed 2, so that'll be 6 damage in total, which is only a stand. So next up for you, Chieftain. He's just, yeah, gonna chill. And then I'm going to activate my next, which is the Militia. So just did a reform with the Militia and made a single move across. That will be your next one, which is the Veterans. Oh dear.
And
So with your Clash, Inspire, and all of that, you are 4s re-rolling. She can't, with Inspire, go to 5s. Which it makes you re-roll 6s. It's a little bit redundant because you are re-rolling everything from your Chieftain, providing you with Flurry. So your 4s re-rolling. Which is a really, wow. That is going to be 10 hits. And so, yeah, 3s. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 wounds so far. That is going to kill 2 stands. And then Resolve, I fail 4, and that will wipe them. So the veterans just do a reform to finish up, which means my last action is the Theus Priest. It's going to yell curses at you. Alrighty, yeah, command stacks. At the end of that round, you will gain the 2 points, so it will now make it 12-6 in your favour. Going into turn 7. So Supremacy, got a 3, got a 6, so I am going to be going first. My first activation is the Militia. Alright, so I've done a double move with the Militia. Both units are in 10 inch of the Theus Priest, so something is getting turned into Barbecue Dinosaur. In your first card is the Raptor Rider. What's she going to do? So your Raptor Rider, she's going to turn around for her first free fluid reform and then perform a charge. So she needs a 3. She gets it. So she's in. She then makes her attacks. So go for it. Yep. So 3s. Re-rolling everything because of Flurry. So just 3. So 3 defense rolls of save 2, fail 1. Run resolve check. I'm fine because of Theus Priest. And so, Theus Priest is my next and last activation this round. We are burning Raptor Rider today. Holy fire! Yeah, that is 10 hits on her. You can roll this if you want.
just to see.
How much fire does it take to barbecue a Raptor Rider? Evasion 2. Apparently not a lot because you passed 1. Turns out when you charge and stand in the face of the dude casting Holy Fire,
it's not a good idea.
You get burnt. Alright, so next up is your Chieftain, first of all. He places a death counter down, and then your veterans come in, placing a death counter. This will give you the +1 clash. They're obviously charging, and they're obviously already in. So the veterans now, with Shock, Inspire, the Chant from the Cult of Death, you are now 5s, re-rolling 6s on your clash. For 10 to go through on the Militia. So defense 2 on the Militia. I passed 4, so that'll be 6 damage. And then 6 resolve checks. Will be another 5, that'll be 11 damage. So that was something. The whole back rank is gone. So 5 attacks with your Chieftain. 5s. Re-rolling, doesn't need them. So there's 5. These are cleave 2, so these go straight through. So just 5 resolve checks here. Failed 4, so that'll be 9 damage.
Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community.
Alright, so I am broken, but I am not shattered because that was just one load of rounds. So this becomes really important for Supremacy because I could wipe you with a good roll from the Theus Priest. So, Supremacy, I got a 4, you got a 5. I am going to take it. And surprise, surprise,
It is the Theist Priest who is going first with Holy Fire. Alright, so my Theist Priest is going to go with Holy Fire onto those veterans. So that'll be 10 hits, because one of those will turn into a success. So 10 hits. Veterans have defense 3. Roll bad. That's what I want you to do here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a stand. So, yeah, fail 6 of these, please. Resolve 3. No. Apparently that just annoyed you. And then it's the Chieftain. Okay.
Chieftain was dueling.
Gonna duel? Okay, let's go with this. All right, so we are attacking at the same time. So we are only clash 3 on the Chieftain in a duel, so go for it. 3s, but he is re-rolling that 1 fail. Of course, he doesn't fail. He gets 4 through, but I get my attacks as well. So 4s, clash 2. I got 1. So I have 4 saves to make. First of all, you can do your 1. You have defense 2 on this because I have cleave 1. You do take a wound from me. So, yeah, with your 4 attacks, I only have defense 2, cleave 2, just swing straight through. That'll kill my Theist Priest. Alrighty, so it all comes down to this. Militia, they have 5 attacks. Now I have to do 5 wounds in total on your veterans. So your Chieftain will flee then, and it will be left with a stand of militia. So that'll be 3 hits. 3s. You failed 2, which isn't going to be enough to see you off the table. 2 resolve checks. You failed 1, so you take 3 wounds. And the veterans with their 6 attacks back. So 5 base, and that's champ. So 3s re-rolling because of flurry. There's 5. I have defense 2. And no. The militia go down. They went down fighting, but it is both a victory on points and a tabling to the Wadrhun. All that's left is the Chieftain and his veterans. And so, that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below, letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community here, we have a Discord server linked down in the video's description, and also linked down there are the best ways to help support the channel as well. Our Patreon and YouTube members down there are fantastic ways to help support the channel, and if you'd like to get a shout out like all these people, you can go and join up today. So, with that said, we'd like to give a shout out to all our Patreon and YouTube members. So, thank you to our Patreons, Rob B, Broken Chef, Andy C, Grimscold, Colorblind Magic, Benjamin Swallows, James Cater, Mark Harvey, Domir, Average Wargamer, Q Damac, Andrew Bowen, Outer and Shot First, Kenny Lowe, and Soren. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, James Tillman, Disco, John Castle, and Gargamel196. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well. And most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.